Hello, folks, and welcome to our webinar, The Secrets of Getting More Out of Your Chemical Drawing Software. I am Jesse. I am a marketing communication specialist here at ACDLabs, and I am joined today by Allison Yee. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Jesse?
Doing great. So
Awesome.
Allison is, of course, the customer success coordinator here. And today's presentation, we're going to be talking about ChemSketch and some of the different ways in which you can get more value out of your chemical drawing software using the tools that are available there. A few things to note that before we get into things, though, and I pass it off to Allison, is that this is actually just pre-recorded. Like you'll kind of see that we're recorded here, but that means that Allison and I are going to be in the chat and we'll be able to answer questions while things are happening. So if you ask questions, you'll see a question section on the right, probably, I think, in the web browser that you
Exactly.
can, yes, that you can enter
Mhm.
things in. And so we can address anything that's going on there. And then we will be live at the end to answer any questions that you have. And maybe you want to demo something about the program that you want to have questions about. So, and then also, if you're having any problems with this, you can exit out of the webinar and then re-enter, and that solves most problems. Like if you're having sound issues or the video stops, that usually will resolve it. But once again, if you have any problems, you can also hit us up in chat and we'll try to address that. But I think that that's everything that I need to clarify before getting into things. So I think I'll pass it off to Allison, unless you had anything to add.
Nope, I think we're good to go. So thank you, Jesse, for your introduction and welcome everybody to today's webinar. I'd first just like to note that if you see me kind of looking in different directions, I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude. I just have multiple screens that I'm trying to pull information from. So with that kind of out of the way, let's just get started with today's presentation. So we're kind of talking about, ChemSketch and different drawing packages. And you might be wondering specifically, what does ChemSketch have to offer me? So in any chemical drawing software, what you're generally looking for, is something that's easy to use, something that can produce something that is high quality, and you want something that makes it easy for you as a user, to edit papers or reports. And on top of all of that, you're going to want something that's affordable. And so not only do you want it, to be easy to use, but you also want to ensure it has features that can, improve your workflow and make your life a little bit easier. So what I actually want to do is I want to go over a couple of features that I think personally are really cool in ChemSketch and things that I wish I had when I was in school or when I was working, and I just wanted these things to be generated really fast. So of course, in ChemSketch, you have your basic drawing of compounds, your molecules. You can draw reactions for documents and reports. But ChemSketch also has this really nifty thing called the ACD dictionary. And what the dictionary is a tool that hosts, I believe, over 170,000 different compounds at this point, that you can actually search through in the dictionary by a variety of different names. So you can just, click the button, type in whatever you're looking for, and it will just generate that structure for you. ChemSketch also has a great number of templates. So these templates include anything from macromolecules, surface-related structures, carbon structures, and there's really a lot in here for a variety of people, from researchers to undergraduate students to graduate students, to those who are working in the lab. And along with those pre-made templates, you also have a lot of customization power, as in you can even create your own templates to use. So you can just see that in this slide right on the left-hand side, I'm just showing you that, you can create these reactions. You can actually have these reaction tables inserted as well. And you can also create these schema, these maps for these biomolecules as well. So I'm just going to actually hop into the software and show you a little bit of the drawing, the dictionary, and the templates. And so, like I was mentioning, we have all of these drawing tools. So we have all the atoms right on the left-hand side. We also have these pre-made templates as well for all of these cycles. So let's say I wanted to draw something with, a benzene in it. Maybe I'll just add a chlorine here. So we can do something very simple like that. If I click this button and highlight everything, I can also just clean up the structure, and you'll see that those bond lengths fix itself. So that's, very basic drawing functionality. What I was also talking about was the ACD dictionary. And so the ACD dictionary is going to be on this button right over here on your right-hand side of the screen. So you'll see that if I click this button, it pulls up the dictionary. You see that we have almost 172,000. We have 171.9. And what we can do is simply just search for any of the molecules. So you'll see there, I wanted to search for, acetaminophen, like that. And you'll see that when I click any of these molecules, any of these names, it'll pull up the actual structure as well. So I'm just going to start off with acetaminophen. I'm just going to click OK, and I'm going to load that in like so. So it's really quick, really simple. You saw how fast it was for me to just click that button, search up what I was looking for, and to just put it into my document. And the last thing I wanted to speak about while I was here were the templates. So there are two places where you can access the templates. The first place is through the top toolbar over here. You'll see that it has templates right here. So if I click that and go into template window, we can access it through there. We also have a template organizer. So if I were to click the template organizer, you'll see that we have all of these templates available to us. And we can just click anything that we would possibly need. And I can click OK. And the other place to access the templates is from this button here. And so this is actually probably the easiest place to open your template window. When I click that, you'll actually see all of the templates that I was speaking about. So you'll see that we have, all of the favorites that I've selected previously. You'll see some really cool things. So for example, we have all of the DNA and RNA. We have lab animals in there. We also have graphical labels as well. If you're a student wanting to do a lab report, we have a ton of lab kit features right here. All you have to do that or to add these into your document is just to click it. And then you can just paste it in like so. So very fast and a very easy way to add these things in. And like I previously mentioned, you can actually create your own templates as well. So let's say, there's a reaction you consistently do. There are maybe in like a transformation map you use, you constantly have to refer back to the same molecules over and over again. You can simply just create it and then save your actual ChemSketch document and load it back in as a template. And the way you would do that is by going into templates, back into that template organizer, and you'll see that you have the ability to add new. So once you click new, you can bring in that document and have your own template organizer, or sorry, your own template customized to you within the template organizer. So another thing quickly that I just wanted to highlight is that we can actually also pull in a name. We can generate names from the structures. And so you'll see right here, right beside the template organizer button, it's right over here. If I simply just click this button, you'll see that it only took a couple of seconds, but we actually generated the IUPAC name for acetaminophen, which kind of brings me into the next part of what I wanted to speak about, where ChemSketch does offer these naming capabilities. So just as I've shown you a moment ago, but like in your general package of ChemSketch, you are limited by the number of atoms and specific atoms, as you can see on the screen, so we are only able to have these specific atoms. You're also limited up to 3 cycles in your molecules, as well as the IUPAC name generated can only have a maximum of 100 characters. Now, if you're working with larger molecules and you require this capability to do all of this naming, what we can do is actually introduce an add-on called ACD name. And this will actually give you the capabilities to name those larger molecules. So if you're interested in that, that's definitely something that we can add in to help you kind of bundle all of that together. So along with the naming capabilities, ChemSketch also offers molecular property predictions. So that includes some basic phys chem values if you require those. So this is a list of all of the different molecular properties which can be calculated or generated very quickly. And I'll show you these in the software really quickly. So let me just pull in my ChemSketch once again. So you'll actually see one of the ways we can quickly look at these properties is right in the bottom right-hand corner where it says properties here. You'll see that right now I have formula weight and composition checked, and these can be viewed at the bottom toolbar here. So we have our formula weight, we also have our formula, and right now I have composition. If I don't want to see composition, I can just uncheck it and you'll see that it's disappeared from the toolbar. If I click properties again, you'll see that there are all of those different things that we can predict very quickly. So for example, if you constantly work with, let's say, dielectric constants, which is not applicable for this one. But we can also add in the polarizability if that's something you constantly use, or the molar refractivity. If these are things that you constantly use, you can have those checked off in this properties toolbar. And whenever you generate or draw a structure, you'll always have these values right at the bottom. So I'm just going to unselect these just to clean everything up a bit because I don't need that personally. But the other thing we can also do is calculate pH as well as log P from this toolbar up here. So you'll see that if I simply click log P, this log P button, you'll see that it really quickly generates the log P value plus minus. And if you're interested in how that value was actually calculated and you want to compare it with experimental data, what you can do is just click this button or this link, and it will take you to a page where you can learn more about how the ACD log P is being predicted. So I'm just going to click OK. And speaking of this top toolbar here, I also just wanted to highlight the fact that you can use these 4 database search engine options straight from the software toolbar. So you'll see we have PubChem, eMolecules, ChemSpider, as well as the CAS SciFinder. So if you click any of these, it'll take you into those database search engines, which I think is just very handy as well. So the next thing I would like to speak with you about is the compatibility with other programs. So when choosing a chemical drawing package, you'll want something that easily integrates with the rest of the programs you use on a daily basis. So one of those things, so for example, if you're working with a Word document or Microsoft Office, so a presentation, even Excel files, really, we can edit those structures directly wherever you're working in. So all you would need to do is double click the structure or whatever you have in your document. So just to show you what I mean, I do have a reaction Word document that I was working on, but you see that I do need to fix this because benzene does not create a benzene under these circumstances. So what I have to do is I'm simply just going to double click the picture. You'll see that my ChemSketch is wanting to load up, and you'll see right at the top here, it says ACD ChemSketch object in Microsoft Word. So I'm just going to pull this up. And what I can do is now just edit my structure. So I'm just going to add in my NO2 group here. We also have the ability to, if you don't like how that kind of looks, you can also manually change that. So I'm just going to remove this really quickly. And I'm going to click this edit atom button and click what I want to change. So I'm just going to put it as an NO2, click like that. So you can see that I've just edited this reaction very quickly. And now to go back into our Word document, I'm going to head up into File. And I'm just going to click Close and Return to Microsoft Word. you'll see that ChemSketch is prompting me saying that the embedded object has been modified. Do I want to update it in Microsoft Word, which I do. So I'm going to click yes. And now when I open my Word document, you'll see that now this has automatically updated very simply into my Word document. So like I said, this is a very simple way to do it. So if you have a really big presentation coming up where you have a lot of these different types of schemes, you want a very quick way to edit them, all you have to do is just double click. It'll take you into ChemSketch, and that's where you can do all of your editing. Now, let's say you have a lot of colleagues using ChemDraw. So they send you the ChemDraw files, the .cdx files all the time, and this is the only drawing package program that they use. What's actually great about ChemSketch is that you have the ability to transfer those files into ChemSketch, so you won't have to lose any time trying to convert any different files. All you have to do is you can simply copy and paste. You can edit or open your .cdx files in ChemSketch itself, and then you can save them as the ChemSketch file, which is .sk2. So we have that kind of cross compatibility there. So you can always bring in those ChemDraw files, edit in ChemSketch, and you should be good to go. And the final thing regarding compatibility is that if you have any other ACDLabs products or software solutions, you'll know that ChemSketch is that main place you can create and edit your structures. So ChemSketch is also the program where you can create report templates as well. So for a number of different techniques. So for example, NMR, LCMS, UVIR, any other techniques like that. You can also create report templates for our specialized solutions, such as Catalyst, MetaSense, Luminata. And with that being all said, I think that's a great place to segue into the reporting part of this webinar. So reporting may not be something that a lot of people are thinking about in their chemical drawing software packages. And it just may not be mandatory for some people, but being able to build reports or creating report templates that look clean and professional can definitely be a big game changer for a lot of people. So in ChemSketch, you have the ability to produce these high quality figures and structures. So these can be pulled from the templates that I showed you earlier, or we can simply just draw what is needed. Something that some people may find helpful is that if you are planning on creating figures for specific journals, we have the ability to change the drawing style so you can draw specifically in the journal style that you want. So just as a very quick example, if I bring in my ChemSketch window, let me just zoom back in, you'll see that under options, right at the top in the toolbar, we have the ability to set the structure drawing style. So you see right now we're in normal, but we have the ability to change the drawing style for all of these different journals. So ACS style, maybe biochem, cell biology, carbohydrate, all these things, photochemistry, synthesis. If you plan on publishing to these journals, you can simply just click any of these templates and you'll start drawing in this specific style. And like many other things in ChemSketch, as you may have noticed, even our reports are highly customizable. One of the features we find so many people really, really like is the ability to actually zoom in to specific peaks and areas within their NMR spectrum. So what you're getting is really high quality zoom ins and really valuable and useful information. And of course, I'm going to show you this really quickly as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open my NMR report like so. So you can see that we have all of our information. We have all of our metadata right at the top. We have our structure, we have our date, as well as our actual spectrum. Now, let's say I wanted to zoom in on these multiplets right over here. What I can do is in draw mode, I can click this button right here that has a magnifying glass, and this is the zoom spectra button. So if I click that and I highlight here and I just zoom across this area like so, I'll let go and you can see that I have this box floating with my mouse and my cursor. So what I can do is if I click it there, it pastes that zoom in, and now I can actually resize this like so. So you can really get more details of what's going on in your report. So I can do that just, one more time. If I click the zoom spectra, let's say I want to zoom in on this multiplet right here, I can just go through that. I'll click right here. I can now resize it, and you'll see that all of the information is, kept within these zoomed inserts. You can very clearly see this multiplet. You can see the way it's being split, and you still have the chemical shift area shown right below it. So that's something we find that a lot of people like in reporting with ChemSketch. So if you're interested on a deeper dive into creating reports, we actually have a power lesson on the ACDLabs customer portal that can walk you through these topics. So you'll see how to copy and paste different spectra and structures, how to generate customized reports, creating those actual report templates. You'll find that all in this power lesson. Which, speaking of power lessons, this is one of the learning resources we actually have. So this gave us a great segue into chatting about all of these things. So what learning resources do we have when it comes to learning about ChemSketch, and how can we get started with it? So the first place I'd like to highlight is the ACDLabs customer portal, which I just mentioned. So on the customer portal, you'll find how-to movies. These range anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes long, I would say. These teach you specific tools to use within the software. So we have a lot for ChemSketch specifically. We also have quick start guides, and these are highly illustrated documents, which will walk you through step by step on how to set up your software or how to just get started. And like I've previously shown you, we also have power lessons on the customer portal for reporting, but we also have one for drawing and nomenclature as well. And that I think is a great starting point to get started with ChemSketch. And we also have a very fantastic YouTube channel. So if you actually go to youtube.com/ACDLabs Inc. and search for ChemSketch, you'll see that there are numerous resources we have, which includes tutorials as well as demos. And actually, Jesse, I know that you are the person who is managing the YouTube channel. So is there anything that you'd like to kind of go over about the YouTube channel or highlight about it?
Yes, I'm actually involved in handling a lot of the stuff with the YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun, and I try to create a lot of resources on ChemSketch, particularly because I know there are a lot of people who use the program and a lot of people who have questions about it. One of the particular things that I wanted to highlight, I try to do videos that are featuring these different functionalities, because there's a lot that you can do with the program. And like even now, for instance, some of the things that Allison has showed today, I was like, oh, I actually didn't know you could do that. That's really cool. So that's always fun. And I like to be able to show off those sorts of things. And if people have particular questions about what they would want in deeper questions, and I'll take some suggestions here, I'd love to include that in future videos as well. But yeah, check that out. There's a playlist as well that you can follow along. Lots of resources there that are available to everybody. But this also goes into a topic that I also wanted to cover for this, and that's actually about pricing. And one of the things that I think many people find very attractive about ChemSketch is that it is more affordable than some alternatives that are out there. It does, of course, depend on what products you're using as an alternative there. So first, let's talk about the pricing for individuals. We have 3 different products that are sort of related to one another. We've talked about 2 of them today. So ACD name is based on a subscription service that you can buy through our web store. You can just buy directly through our website. You don't have to talk to any of us if you don't want to. So just go there, and also if you do want to talk to our salespeople, I'm sure that they'd lovely love to have a chat with you. But if you did want to do this through the web store, that's one way to do it. So subscription based means that you pay for it on a yearly basis. ChemSketch is available in a few different license styles. So you have a license, you have a subscription, and so a license is based on you purchase the software, but then you have a maintenance for a particular period of time. In case you're curious on how that works. There's also an academic discount that's possible, so you can look into that if you are somebody who is in academia, and you can even try it out using a 30-day free trial if that's something that you want to, take it for a test drive first. And then there's also Spectrus processor that is related. That's also you can get through the web store, and that this is if you want more capabilities to do things like manage analytical data, in addition to just being able to do the drawing and naming functionality. So you can get whichever level of sophistication that you think that you need. Now, where things get really interesting is that a lot of people are saving maybe 50% of their costs. You can see the prices right on the page for the different possibilities here, because there are a lot of pricing options, but people are saving frequently over 50%, around 50% relative to some popular competitors. So that's a really big saving, particularly for people who don't have a huge budget. For site licenses, though, that this is another thing that's possible. We don't just do for individual users. If your company wants to switch over to using ChemSketch or adopt ChemSketch, this is a way in which you can save a lot more money. We offer site licenses or company licenses. We can also use a mix of different licenses. So I talked about those 3 different products of Name, ChemSketch, and Spectrus processor. Maybe not every user in your company needs access to Name or needs access to Spectrus processor. This is a way in which to get sort of a mix of them, and that several companies around the world have made this switch from other program packages to ChemSketch and have seen savings in excess of 50% compared to what they were paying before, particularly because you can get that mix of different products that is well designed and well suited for your particular company. So I think that sort of covers everything that I wanted to talk about related to pricing, and hopefully that gives people a good entry into that. And you can learn more about that through our web portal, not our web portal, the web store, just on the individual pages, and also talking to sales folks if you want to get the site license more information. But with that, I think that we are done with this section of the webinar and ready for some questions, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.